I know that nobody likes to watch a tactical analysis video when Nigeria loses a game, but just bear me out on this one. This is not a game that Nigeria lost because Nigeria played badly. I think this was a game that both teams came prepared for each other, pretty much cancelled each other out, and the game could have gone either way. Look at what I observed in this game. First, it was the way Morocco set up specifically to nullify Nigeria. Most teams playing Nigeria in this tournament are used to Nigeria's narrow build-up, squeezing the middle and then putting the fullbacks wide. And most teams will defend in a 4-4-2. But Morocco switched it up a little bit. Morocco looked more like a dynamic 4-2-4 pressing. They were not really pressing Nigeria aggressively. But on the other hand, the focus of their pressing was not actually to sort of match Nigeria 1 versus 1. It's to make sure that they were able to lock these players that Nigeria usually leaves behind the line. If you notice, Morocco has a defensive line and then this attacking line putting pressure on Nigeria's center backs. And these two players in the middle who sole job was to pick up this Nigeria pivot to make sure that Iwobi can't find anybody between the lines. And then the need for this extra man here in this press to make it 4 in front was so that they could keep an eye on Nigeria's fullbacks in case Nigeria decides to go wide. Two things Morocco did was either this person would come wide whenever the ball comes wide to Nigeria's fullback, or Mazraoui from the defense or somebody else would jump on Nigeria's fullback to make sure that they can't progress the ball through there. It's exactly what you would notice here. They are not really putting a lot of pressure on Nigeria per se. It was not an aggressive 1v1 press. On this occasion, somebody has jumped on the fullback already and forcing Nigeria to go wide again. Now, this play continues, but one thing you will notice is that everybody in the middle always has a man on them. And eventually, still in the same phase of play, after rotating the ball, you would notice that they still have those two people in the middle of the pitch between the lines to make sure that Nigeria does not have, Iwobi specifically, does not have a true pass behind their line. And then there is always somebody on Osayi Samuel. Even on the other hand, there's always somebody on Onyemachi as well to make sure that even when Nigeria wants to progress through the fullbacks, they can cut off the fullbacks immediately. So Nigeria struggles to build up. Look at another example. It's still Nigeria attempting to build up from here. And again, what you will quickly notice is the presence of those two players behind the line, making sure that they take care of Nigeria's pivot players behind their line. Those line breaking passes can't find those players. It's not the flat 4-4-2 or the dynamic 4-4-2 that most teams played against Nigeria. This was more of a 4-2-4. Just those two players to make sure that Nigeria can't progress through the middle. And then somebody out wide, just enough to make sure that they are compact enough in the middle, but also have somebody to keep an eye out on Nigeria's fullback. On this occasion again, this player was keeping an eye on Osayi Samuel, and Nigeria struggled. Iwobi has the ball here. He has dropped deep, but it's difficult for him to actually pick out a pass. Now, the pressing from them was not aggressive in any way. As soon as this ball is coming out to Osayi Samuel, like I mentioned before, this is Mazraoui stepping out to close him down immediately. And then Morocco could recover the ball from here. And on the flip side of that as well, whenever Morocco had the ball, Morocco also knows that Nigeria can be quite aggressive with their pressing. Morocco did not attempt to actually build against Nigeria. This is what I'm talking about. This is just one of the early parts of the game, and Morocco had a goal kick, and they just kicked it high up the pitch. Because if you notice, when they were setting up for that goal kick, look at how many players Nigeria had in their half already. That's 6 players in their own half. Morocco know that they're not going to get out of this press. They're not going to get out of Nigeria's press. So they didn't just bother. They just kicked the ball long, high up into the pitch, and tried to win the first ball, tried to win the second ball. Both teams at some point started doing this. Even Nigeria started going long, trying to find the wingers. And then I know that it looks like Morocco had more shots in this game. Most of the shots they had were, to be honest, low XG shots. They were never going to score from them. They didn't trouble Nigeria well enough. Most of the good chances came from either team being able to turn over possession, force an error from the opposition. Let me show you an example. An example is Nigeria tried to play out from the back, and then when they tried to press Nigeria in the mid block, they were able to turn over possession there. Ajayi gave the ball away. And then even when Nigeria recovered this ball again, still in the process of trying to build out consistently, for a second time, Ajayi lost the ball again. And on this occasion, he was able to recover quickly and make a tackle. But these were the kind of moments that created chances. If you notice in this game, on a few occasions, Onyedika in midfield lost the ball a couple of times. There were times where he had the ball to his feet. He couldn't see anybody to give the ball to. He was closed down quickly. The ball was recovered from him. I think on the ball, he could have done better in this game, but I'm not criticizing him harshly because I think off the ball, with his blocking and tackles, it was quite good. Morocco didn't really pin Nigeria back or absolutely open Nigeria up. This is another instance of Morocco actually forcing an error. This time, it's Iwobi who had the ball, and he's closed down quickly, has the ball nicked away from him, and Morocco were instantly on the attack. But on this occasion, as usual, Calvin Bassey was back there to defend. This is where he got the yellow card from, which, in my opinion, was an absolute joke of a yellow card. It wasn't just Morocco. Nigeria on their own, on occasions, were able to force errors by just being a little bit more aggressive and timing tackles. Like on this occasion, once this player is pressed, Nigeria will be able to recover the ball here through an error. And I think with just a better pass, maybe Nigeria could have been in here. I don't know if you noticed in this game, especially with Nigeria's front three, Akko Adams, Osimhen, and Ademola Lookman, there were times where you just think that if somebody just had a better first touch, or just played a better pass, or just held on to the ball a little bit, or just released the ball a little bit quicker, that Nigeria would have created a decent chance. There were a lot of half chances for Nigeria in this game. That poor first touch, poor pass, and the chance just goes away. It happens. It's football. Both teams matched each other very well. I think this game could have gone on for 3 or 4 hours and it would still be nil-nil. That was how much each team knew each other. But at the end of the day, it went to the lottery of penalty kicks and Nigeria eventually lost. Again, I don't think Nigeria played badly in this game. This game could have swung either way. And one thing I think played a big factor in this game is the fact that Nigeria were playing the host nation in their own home. The noise in the stadium, the crowd behind Morocco. I think Nigeria held their nerve pretty well, especially Nigeria's defender, Calvin Bassey. Oyemachi, I think, was good. Oyemachi kept Bruno Diaz quiet for most of the game. Osayi Samuel, on the other hand, was equally good. He did smith at a moment or two, but other than that, he was decent. The main problem, the people who felt the nerve the most in Nigeria, I think, were Nigeria's front three players, especially Akko Adams and Victor Osimhen. I think they felt a lot of the nerve playing in front of that Morocco crowd. But in all, it's not bad. This is the best thing that Nigeria has put out in the tournament in a long time. So win or lose, keep the criticism of the Super Eagles to a bare minimum. They have been a very good team in this tournament. Forget about the penalty misses. I'm not even going to talk about it. Players miss penalties. It happens. Get over it. Leave Chukwueze alone. People miss penalties. It happens. I want to say something. The penalty kick, when Chelsea won the Champions League against Bayern Munich in 2012, I think, the final kick that Drogba converted, it was a poor penalty kick, but he sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. It's not different from what Chukwueze played. If the keeper had caught that ball, we would have remembered that penalty kick differently. So sometimes it happens like this. If you try a Panenka, for instance, if you pull it off, it's great. You look really great. People will praise you for it. But if the keeper stands his ground and catches it, you would look very stupid. That's just how penalties are. Leave it like that. Third place game is coming. Nigeria can still beat Egypt. So see you on that one.